The Ben Roethlisberger era ended after their wild card loss after the 2021 season to Kansas City. The heir to the throne has been decided with Kenny Pickett and one-time MVP winner Mitchell Trubisky, who shared quarterback reps throughout the season. Kenny Pickett returns. He is playing lights out. Honestly, it's incredible. The Pickett to Pickens connection is going to be stronger than ever heading into 2023. Keeping Mike Tomlin's staying above 500 historic record pace alive for yet another season. And let's get into it here. The offense, besides Broderick Jones, nothing's much has changed. I don't want to talk about this, Colin, here. I want to let you talk about
this. Nothing much has changed. See, that's where you're wrong, Mr. Jets. Calvin Austin.
I hear the best thing I love for this team is Allen Robinson. I think he's going to go back to the Bears.
You got two new receivers. Allen Robinson's a Pittsburgh Steeler. Calvin Austin's finally got to make his impact as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Steelers drafted him last year out of Memphis, and he sadly never played a snap. Got hurt early on, never saw him. You got two new weapons for Kenny Pickett to throw the ball to. I'm very excited. I mean, Broderick Jones, as well as just mentioning, first-round pick out of Georgia. Isaac Seumalo coming over from Jake's lovely Philadelphia Eagles. It's a brand new offensive line on the left side, and I am very excited. The Eagles didn't want to let him go. Heard out of all the Eagles players that Seumalo was huge for them, and Pittsburgh got a fantastic player. Oh my gosh, can't speak here. I'm so excited. But yes, this offense I think is going to be huge. And again, a lot of question marks I don't think are on Kenny Pickett. I think it's Matt Canada. Because the Steelers moved the ball at the end of last season. The problem was they always settled for field goals. And it was very confusing why they were able to move the ball so well. But then once you get inside the red zone, sputtering the tires, questionable play calling. That's what it's going to be about Pittsburgh this year. Can they get the correct play calls? Because they got guys. I don't get it. You're seeing all the highlights just out of training camp of George Pickens. Go back and watch his highlights. We'll just look up George Pickens highlights from last year. The guy's a dog.
Yeah, your man B-Wall got posted on NFL.com.
He did. Our guy B-Wall here at Steeler Nation got posted on NFL Network, ESPN, from that great catch yesterday at training camp. So the guy's special.
Yeah, Colton. I think your whole thing about that, the answer is staring you right in the face. What I found kind of weird pick, but it makes total sense when you think about they settle for field goals. Darnell Washington.
Love him. I love him.
That dude is a dog.
He is a dog. He is a Georgia Bulldog. You're all right, Jake.
6'7", and I think he only had like 25 catches last year, but I mean, that Georgia team was loaded.
Well, you also
I thought he was going to go
tight end prospect ever,
I thought he was going to go at the end of the first round. I was like, oh, if Michael Mayer goes, I thought Darnell Washington's just going to go right off the tails, but we didn't see a tight end go night one. But of course, the Steelers get him, and it's like, why do we let this happen? Why?
There was all the talk going into the draft that the Steelers were going to take him. I'm like, yeah, I definitely would love to have him. But you already got Muth there, Connor Hayward. I know he's listed as a fullback, but could play tight end. Made some great catches for them as well last year as a rookie. But for me, I was like, I'm good. Then where they got him, I'm like, okay, I'm very happy here. And the Steelers, I thought, had the second best draft on paper behind Philly. Again, on paper, you got to see how these kids turn out. They can all turn out to be bad, and they end up having an awful draft. So, on paper, I thought the Steelers got everything they wanted, got great value where they picked. So, I'm very excited for this team. It really comes down to Matt Canada. You got a ton of size in the red zone. There's no excuse. Deontay Johnson's one of the best route runners. You just talked about Washington and his size. Power Freiermuth can jump on and catch the ball. He's a stud mismatch at the tight end position. And you're talking George Pickens. Oh, my goodness. Allen Robinson. You literally should be scoring touchdowns left and right. You cannot guard all four of those guys. And you got Najee Harris coming out of the backfield. Have fun. This team should have no excuses to put up points. I'm sorry.
This team looks like a red zone nightmare.
That was my whole excitement going into last year. And yet they couldn't score touchdowns. But they can pull up the field. It's
short.
what are we doing here? What happens?
And then you got Deontay Johnson who can run those little quick flat routes.
Yeah, he's
Pickens and Freiermuth over the middle, and then just jump balls to also Freiermuth, Allen Robinson, Darnell Washington.
Colton, what do you think?
The talent's there. There's no excuse for the talent on offense. It literally comes down to Matt Canada. Because I think you're going to see a much improved Kenny Pickett. You saw it at the end of last year with the game-winning drives. I think you're going to see it again. The guy's putting in the work in the offseason. Everyone's all of a sudden surprised by Kenny Pickett.
What do you think? What do you think about Najee Harris? What is your actual thoughts about what he's done so far? Should he be better? What is he going to do this year?
He didn't have that bad of a year. Like, he still crossed 1,000 yards rushing.
Hardly.
I mean, it was like a fantasy thing, though. Like, he was a really bad fantasy back. I think he was like 27th the entire year.
Well, okay. Yeah. If you want him to be a premier running back, he's got to do more than just crossing 1,017 games, I think.
Oh, I also thought he was a heck of a lot better running back in the second half of the season. Because if anyone follows me on Twitter about the Steelers, it was please do not let Najee Harris touch the football. So I don't know if this plantar fasciitis that he walked into camp with was the issue. He was banged up early. I don't know if he never really got healthy. Because after the bye, he looked like a different Najee Harris. So, I mean, if we get that Harris out of the gate, which so far at camp he looks great, and him and Jalen Warren, it doesn't even get talked about enough. It's just Najee Harris. It's never really Jalen Warren. They have a great 1-2 punch for the first time in Pittsburgh in a very long time. So I think if Harris looks healthy, like he is, knock on wood, the Steelers are in business. They really are. I don't want to spend all day on it. I don't want to be that guy, but they have the potential to be very special. It is what it is. So I got to see it on paper, though. Like, I got to see pen to paper. I got to see this offense in the red zone, put up or shut up time. That's what I got to see.
Let's head on over to the defensive side of the ball, where my heart was ripped out because, of course, the Steelers signed Quan Alexander, and that honestly just ruined me because he was such a great linebacker, too, just to complement that middle with C.J. Mosley. But the defense overall, Corey Trice Jr. put on IR. I know that's a very sad thing, Cole, and he was having a really good camp so far. Got carted off with an injury yesterday.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
But Joey Porter Jr. let the Porters run Pittsburgh. Screw it, put the flag down. He went to where'd he go, Jake?
Your Penn State Nittany Lions.
Penn State number 1.
Dog.
This defense overall, though, oh my God, the additions of Patrick Peterson, Kazi, Ogunjobi, I think was this offseason, right?
No, he was there last year.
Okay, but and then they also locked up.
So is your boy KZ, by the way. Your boy KZ was there last year too.
Damn.
But here's the real question:
that's a joke.
Is Watt going to stay healthy?
Yeah, I believe so. And for the first time in a long time, actually, I wouldn't say a long time, since they first drafted Alex Highsmith, they haven't really had a backup edge rusher behind TJ and Highsmith that's been like, okay, that's scary. Insert Marcus Golden. That's a 10-plus sack guy. Did in Arizona? I think he had like 9 sacks in New York. That's a very good backup edge rusher to have. So instead of rolling out some random guy, they have 2 legit ones, I think. Nate Herbig's brother, who's on the offensive line, Steelers brought him in this summer as well. Nick, they drafted at Wisconsin. Sounds like he's in T.J. Watt's ear quite a bit. And T.J. Watt was saying that on the NFL Network yesterday that Nick is all up in his ears, stealing his moves in practice, and he looks really good. So he actually reminds me of T.J. I don't know if it's a Wisconsin thing or what, but the guy just has a motor. He may not be huge, like T.J. wasn't huge coming out of college either, but just the work ethic and just the motor on him, it's a football player. And that's what the Steelers like are football players, guys that are just going to put their head in the dirt and put in the work. And Nick Herbig looks like another one of those guys that they drafted in the 4th round. I mean, the talent is there in the Steelers. The talent is there. Like, if they could just somehow put points on the board, I think they'll get enough stops where you don't want to play them. You're not going to want to play Pittsburgh.
I just realized too that they have the Super Bowl Falcons tandem at safety with Kazi and Keanu Neal. I just noticed that.
This is such a filled out defense, like depth wise, all the way around. This is such a filled out team, legit. The fact that you have all these names, these dudes, maybe they're not at the peak of their shape now, like Keanu Neal, but I mean, I still value that guy 100%. I mean, this is such a filled out roster. When I look at this, I mean, it's just and the whole thing about this is this defense is never going to be bad. They're never going to. You don't put the Steelers don't put a bad defense out on the field. That hasn't happened, and couldn't name the last time that's happened. So I mean, I'm confident in this defense every year. Period. You know, whatever the names are, I'm still confident in this defense every time. I mean, it's the AFC North is they play a very hard-nosed defense. Most of these teams, if not just all of them, every year. I mean, it's just that's like the culture there. So it's, you know, these names are fantastic, wonderful, but it's going to be a product that we're used to still, you know.
What about our boy Chris Wormley, Colin? Is he on the PUP list?
No, he's a free agent. Worm is a free agent right now.
On the ACL recovery.
So, Colton, I think this is like probably the best compliment I could give, especially this division. This is a team you don't want to see once it gets cold.
No.
The way it's constructed right now, this is not a team that you want to see once it gets cold because they're going to beat you up.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like where you see the league going in a passing offense. You got to throw the ball and put up 40 points. I think the Steelers are kind of not – they're going to be really balanced where a lot of teams just pass heavy. Steelers are going to be really balanced. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of play action off of Najee Harris and Jalen Warren running the rock. And have fun. Like, they ran the ball really well at the end of last season. Now you're adding a very good run blocker in Broderick Jones. So Mal comes over, and you know what he is. I mean, he's just a fantastic left guard. And the fact that the Steelers have Suleiman next to Broderick Jones, I think that's only going to make him better and develop him a little bit faster, having veteran next to him at left guard. So I think the world is at the feet here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they can easily be a dark horse team. It looks awful coming from me, but yeah, I think they can easily be in the race for the division. Again, it's awful. I got the Steelers stuff behind me. I'm wearing a George Pickens shirt. You can't take me seriously like that's supporting my team, but I think Pittsburgh's going to surprise a lot of people. So if you're into sports gambling, I know Will's a huge sports gambling guy. Get out and bet the Steelers over. I'm pretty sure it's 8.5. Pretty sure it's 8.5. So you got to get out and jump on it because they're going to use it actually 8.5. What's funny? I know you're a big sports betting guy.
Hey, Roger,
if you're hearing this.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Not a sports gambler. Oh, no.
I have to suspend 8 games.
No, I just get fired. Like, let's go into the schedule here for Pittsburgh. This is a very interesting one. They open up one of the more difficult week ones against the 49ers, but at least it's at home. But I think, yeah. You got it.
You got it? I got it. There you go.
You said I'm going to do all the technical stuff.
No, something popped up on my screen and I was confused. Keep going.
I am so confused. But, God, really looking at it, their challenge before the Ravens is only the 49ers. That is probably their only, hiccup and test before they start going, the Ravens, then the bye week.
I hate to say it, they got easily, I think, 10 wins again. That's what's hard with the North. Every team's good. So, you're going to either have to pluck one or two off of each other and not everyone go 3-3 for someone to really run away with this thing. Because I think it's going to be close at the end of this. So, and especially if Joe Burrow's hurt and he comes out a little rusty, not having an actual preseason and training camp, being able to, get it hot and going, he might come out of the gate slow like he did last year. So, and if a team doesn't stay ice cold and slow out of the gate, like if Baltimore comes out hot, we'll see what that offense looks like. We'll get to them in a minute here. If Cleveland comes out, Deshaun Watson ends up being 2020 Deshaun Watson. and the Bengals coming out of the gate slow because Joe Burrow's hurt. This could be anyone's division, folks. So I think clearly the front runner is going to be the Bengals, but if they don't come out hot, you might have a surprise team catch you here.
I've possibly 11 games. 11.
I got 12 games.
Yeah.
I have a hard time saying this isn't a double-digit win team.
Yeah, I see at least double digits.
If I were you, if I was a Steelers fan, I'd be disappointed if it was a single-digit win team.
It would be a disappointment.
I'm pretty disappointed right now that they have to play 2 Thursday night games in a month. They got to play the Titans and they got to play the Patriots.
That's okay. I'll be traveling out there for one of those Thursday night games. Maybe
there we go.
We'll see. Those are always the cheapest. Well, so you got to take advantage of it while it's there.
That's true. But yeah, I think this is a 12-win team. I say they could go 4-1 before the bye, and then they could probably win the next 4 against the Rams, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Packers. And then this is where it gets really choppy here because I see they win, the first game against Cleveland. I say they drop this one against Cleveland. They drop against the Bengals. They're going to put up 58-0 on the Cardinals. The Patriots, I think they're going to blow out. The Colts, I think I put them at a W there, and then the Bengals as well. A W. And I think they dropped the last 2. I really do because I know it's having to go all the way to the other side of the coast on New Year's Eve, and it's just one of the tougher places to play.
I think they steal that last game in Baltimore.
Assuming Lamar's playing.
That's also assuming Lamar's playing.
I think this is I think it's a 12-win team.
I love how that's what it's turned into with Lamar Jackson if he's playing.
Just wait till
Just wait till the playoffs. Oof, 9-8. I don't think he's making the playoffs in the North. I love the confidence there, but I don't think 9-8 makes the playoffs in the AFC.
I also want to shout out this guy too, Headless, because he gave us a really positive comment last week, and I really support that thing. The guy from the Saints, he did not give a supportive comment because he only watched 2 minutes and 24 seconds into the Saints video, and I got to only make one Slant Boy reference in there, not my 5 I did the entire video.
Well, that says heedless, just so you know.
Heedless. Wow. I agree with TJ Watt too. I think he can break the sack record if he stays healthy. I think he can do that. I think so. Now we unsubscribed. Their subscriber count went down 1. Oh.
He's the best edge rusher in the game, so it is what it is. He's the best edge rusher in the game, and he tied Strahan's record, and no one will ever give him credit for that because of how many games played that season. If you actually looked at how many games he played, and he left 2 of them early, so they technically count as a game. He broke the record. He would have broken the record and didn't need the extra games. So make sure y'all watch the tape.
Yeah, Brett Favre also gave up that sack too for Michael Strahan.
Strahan's
let's not forget that too.
Anyway.
Oh, that record's not going to stand with the extra game. That's unfortunate.